Hello, I am Zinfogel. In this video, we are going to cover Cresselia is August 2021 event missions. For these missions, you have to defeat Cresselia Part 3 with 9 Zinc pairs or less, and your teams must include 3 Kalos, Elite 4, and Dark Theme skills. We will do all missions in the same run. Cresselia is one of the toughest legendary arenas to date. She maximizes her special attack, special defense, and evasion very quickly. You should bring Snatch or Haze to counter stat increases. Cresselia can also use Thunder Wave and Toxic to cripple your party. Cresselia starts the fight with a passive that makes her highly resistant to special damage. Past her second health bar, she will resist physical damage instead. Special attack debuffs are a great way to mitigate Cresselia's damage. Lastly, Cresselia is vulnerable to flinches. They are a great way to keep her in check. While Cresselia is dangerous for a lot of reasons, Sycamore and Xerneas' legendary event happens to be rerunning at the moment. With the correct support, he's capable of soloing this encounter through Hornleech recovery, so our strategy is going to fully depend on him. The plan is using Sycamore to leave Cresselia with a sliver of health, so some sacrificial teams can finish her off. For this strategy, we are going to provide crit support to Sycamore so he can function as a striker. However, if you have a powerful dark type, you can bring them instead. It's absolutely crucial that you bring stat increase control or you will severely struggle in this fight. Your main team must include either Bryson, Grimsley, or Liar for this to work. Please note the only readily available dark type Zinc pair is Nanu. BP Karen and Sawyer are also free to play, but the former may be difficult to obtain, while the latter was limited. If you don't have some 5-star dark type gachas, you may be unable to complete a mission. Alright, I know Cresselia sounds very intimidating, but you people are so lucky that Sycamore is rerunning right now. We get to do the strat I first developed when Cresselia dropped. Sycamore eats this stage alive, so this is going to be very easy with him. Before dwelling too much on the strategy here, you should first get a fully gridded 5-5 2020 Sycamore, preferably with Vigilance as a lucky skill, but you don't need it per se, you can run him with Light instead. During the first health bar, you want Sycamore to spam Hornleech. If Cresselia paralyzes the party, you do not want to use Sycamore's trigger move, you have to save it for later. Try to proc Healing Hand 2 instead. As for the scrubs, first we have Bryson. He's here only because he has access to Haze. You could bring Grimsley or Liar instead, who will help your offense quite a bit, but removing Cresselia's buffs is so important that Bryson is worth a team slot. You want to use Haze after Cresselia uses Calm Mind. Cresselia buffs exactly twice, and Bryson has a couple Haze uses, so this ends up working perfectly. Afterwards, you can let Cryogonal faint because it doesn't do that much, although I gave mine's Defense Crush 2 as a lucky skill, just to give me some defense debuffs to help on my offense, but Bryson is not doing much after using Haze. Maybe he can proc a Freeze, but that's about it. The last slot is here to provide crit buffs for Sycamore. Hope works really well because he is free and currently available. Hope also buffs attack and defense, which really helps Xerneas. His potion healing bursts can also get you out of sticky situations, and Zamazenta does unironically good damage, and it also has a 1-bar spam to help advance the Zinc countdown. Although, if I could help it, I would bring Sawyer instead, because he's a dark type, so he has a super effective damage. he can also flinch, and he also has mixed offenses to work around Cresselia's damage resistance passives. If you are using Hop, make sure to reset for his turn move point refresh, so he can maximize the party's critical hit rate. Instead of crit support, you can bring a dark type striker, but I think buffing Sycamore's critical hit rate makes his performance a lot more consistent, because he can bypass Cresselia's permanent light screen all the time, and he can also recover more health from Horn Leech when needed. Alright, now let's talk about Sycamore. For this fight, the most important tile on Sycamore's grid is Healing Hand 2. During Cresselia's Fierce Hellbar, she spams AoE Thunder Wave all the time. Your first reaction to that might be using Sycamore's turn move to clear it, but Cresselia is very likely to reapply Paralysis anyway. What you can do instead is spam Horn Leech with Sycamore and hope to proc Healing Hand 2 to clear the status. You can make an argument that Light is a useful lucky skill here. I would get that if you cannot get Vigilance for Sycamore. In that case, you can drop Healing Hand 2 and grab Moonblast on a roll 1, so Xerneas is more likely to debuff Cresselia's special attack. Now that we are at the second Hellbar, I am going to speed things up a bit, because the rest of the battle is straightforward. On this Hellbar, Cresselia switches her resistances. She is now weaker to special damage, but resistant to physical damage, the exact opposite to the Fierce Hellbar. You want Sycamore to spam Moonblast now, and Hope can also stop attacking as much because his damage use isn't contributing. The key point of this Hellbar is when Cresselia reaches 50% health. At this point, she will use Toxic. This is why we save the Sycamore's turn move, so we can reliably clear this status and continue with the fight. The third Hellbar is a lot of the same. This bar remains vulnerable to special damage, but you will notice Cresselia is a lot weaker defensively here, and Sycamore may surprise you with his damage, so be careful. When Cresselia reaches 50% health, she will use a Sure Crit Hyper Beam. This is the reason you want the Vigilance on Sycamore, but Hope is still around in case of an emergency. Just try to leave Cresselia with as little health as possible and you will be fine. Now we actually have to do the event missions. Sycamore gave us a little head start because he is a Kalos Simper, so I brought Wickstrom and Cybol here. They are 4-star gachas, but more importantly, they are Kalos Elite 4 members, so they offer some decent theme skill compression, and I brought Flint to fulfill another Elite 4 theme skill. Lastly, we are wrapping things up with a triple dark team. This one can be fairly problematic because free-to-play dark types are fairly starved. For example, I don't have BP Karen, so I have to resort to some dark type gacha in order to complete these missions. So if you face a similar situation where you didn't go for BP Karen or you didn't log in during Liaris banner to get your free Sawyer copy, then you will have to use a Nanu and some 5-star dark type gachas in order to complete this mission. But hopefully you do have the resources and you can defeat Cresselia handily. Anyway, that's gonna be it for Cresselia's event missions. Hope this video helps. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below, but I will be taking my leave here. Thanks for watching, take care, and I hope to see you another time.